This is Lower Place Farm, which used to be one of Anne Lister's properties, now beautifully restored, Grade 2.
The Wakefield Gate was the only packhorse track going eastward out of Halifax for at least 600 years, from before the time of the Norman conquest until the building of the first turnpike road in 1741. Later on, it helped to make the town prosperous as the link to York and London for the cloth trade, and as the route to Hull for trading with Europe. This is Dark Lane, a medieval holloway and one of the best preserved in Yorkshire. It had been damaged by a farmer's bulldozer, but in 1987 the Trust raised £14,000 from local donors to repair and protect the entire route, and managed to get Dark Lane designated as an ancient monument protected by statute.
Look at the old sets here, recently cleaned off by the rains, taking off the mud and leaves. It's 12 feet deep here, worn by the pack horses over the centuries. Wow, you can't believe what a wonderful quiet spot this is so near to Hipperholm. But I'm going to continue my journey now. Now we've arrived at Upper Place Farm, another of the Anne Lister properties. It's a ruin now, but it's been replaced by the new Upper Place Farm a bit further up the hill. It's been churned up by horses and quad bikes, so it's really pretty slippery, and it's really a no-no for wheelchairs. But as long as you've got boots and you're careful, particularly when it's wet, it's absolutely fine. And the slope here actually isn't all that steep. It's much better than the other side, where it drops very sharply into Halifax. We're getting to the end of the Dark Lane Holloway now, and you can see the gradient is slackening. We've done all the hard work, so within a minute we shall have the amazing views from the top. We're leaving the mud behind now, getting onto a decent hard road, and as you can see, there are no vehicles allowed here, so it's safe for families and great for a family day out. But as we're getting up, you can feel the wind. We're higher up and we're going on up to Beacon Hill.
Imagine you're an Anglo-Norman nobleman from Sandal Castle in 1120, eager to get to Errington for the hunting. Imagine you're a soldier from the Civil War, defeated at Adwalton Moor in 1643 and longing to get home to Halifax. Imagine you are Anne Lister, who was made famous by Sally Wainwright's BBC HBO series Gentleman Jack. She was a landowner at Shibden Hall, a great traveller and one of the first recognised lesbians, and her secret diaries, partly in code, have been designated by UNESCO as part of the memories of the world. After she took control of the estate in the 1820s and 30s, and when she was not travelling abroad, she would walk this way to Upper and Lower Place Farms to check on her tenants there and to press them to vote as she wished.
Yes, well, you've got the Shibden Valley over there. Anne Lister's Shibden Hall is out of sight down the bottom, and the Lister estate would have taken in much of the land you can't see here and a chunk of the Shibden Valley as well. And then on the skyline you can just see the chimney of the Black Dyke Mill at Queensbury. We're in Barraclough Lane now, and this is the site of a now lost medieval settlement called Barraclough. And the remains are very faint. I'm no archaeologist, but it's possibly that flat area there could be where one of the houses was. And it was a strip development that went down the road, down the hill to the next road.
So why do we call it Wakefield Gate? It's still widely known as the Magna Via, but we now know that that name was never used before the beginning of the 20th century, and Wakefield Gate has a much longer usage. Gate is nothing to do with gates that open and close. It comes from the Old Norse gata, meaning road. So you can thank the Vikings for that. It's just the road to Wakefield. So what is the significance of Wakefield? It goes back to the powerful Norman de Warens, who held the manor of Wakefield. It was exceptionally large, some 25 times the area of the average manor, stretching from Wakefield and Holmfirth to Todmorden, and the whole manor and its courts were administered from the de Warren's castle at Sandal, just south of Wakefield. The administration of the manor was thus a major source of all the travellers that made Wakefield Gate important back then. In front of the Walker Pit Tower there is the ruin of its furnace house, and together they are now designated as a monument. Anne Lister's Listerwick Pit was down Pump Lane behind us. Pump Lane takes you to Shibden Park, all part of the original Lister estate. The other reason for Wakefield Gate's importance in Norman times was ecclesiastical. The first William de Warren and his wife Gundrada endowed the Priory of St Pancras near their castle at Lewes. The priory was huge. The church nave was longer than the present Chichester Cathedral, and this needed money, lots of it. So Halifax and many other churches and manors were given to support the priory, making it the wealthiest in the country and generating yet more travellers to keep track of it all. The connection of Wakefield Gate with the First English Civil War is the Battle of Adwarton Moor, between Bradford and Driglington, on the ridge where the A650 now runs. The parliamentarian Fairfaxes, who had recruited 500 men from Halifax, were defeated there by the larger royalist force. So, cut off from their base at Bradford, Sir Thomas Fairfax retreated with his troops along the Wakefield Gate into Halifax.
We're at the top now, we've done the climbing, and behind me you can see the ventilation shaft for the Walker Pit. That's to the left, and then to the right you can see the ventilation shaft of the railway, which is tunnelled underneath. And as we're on the top here, it's a nice place to have a bite, and there's nothing like a good Yorkshire bacon butter. Well, there's a new sign here put up by the council. You've got Banktop up there, straight ahead down to Halifax, and then the Wakefield Gate behind me. I'm on the way down now, just going down towards the six-way junction. The path is pretty solid here, so it's perfectly safe. It gets quite a lot steeper and slippier further down, but this bit is okay.
We've done all the climbing now, and we're at the six-way junction. If we turn right, we can get to Shibden Hall. The route passes the castellated tower of the ventilation shaft of the Walker Pit, the coal mine named by Anne Lister after her lover, Anne Walker. It's the route that Anne Lister would have walked to visit Halifax, to attend church, to go to the library, and to visit her properties. She used to inspect her coal pits and check on the Rawsons who were stealing her coal from underground.